Fastest from 0 to 60 is good. Truckers say fastest from 40 to 70, even better. Throw in 4 massive disc brakes, and you got yourself one happy ending. Available on the all-new full-size Tundra, the truck that's changing it all.
Here at the Combine with Coach Whisenhunt. And Coach, what do you remember from the Combine with your days with the Ravens, watching guys like Ray Lewis and Jonathan Ogden out there?
You know, it seems like it's Groundhog Day here. It's just different guys. You know, it's the same thing. It's almost even some of the same old ugly faces out here. But no, it's always good to be around these guys and share ideas and then watch these young players. And I think what's different now than it was at that time was you get an opportunity to interview these guys and spend time with these players, and that's so critical to the evaluation process. So you know, it's good to actually see them do some things on the field even though they're just in shorts, but when you get to actually talk with them and get an idea of what they're like and then formulate some opinions on where you feel like they'll fit into your system, it's really valuable.
One of the things that we were talking about the last couple of days is a guy that can play football versus a guy that can run the 40 fast or can throw the football. Where do you kind of look at a guy from that standpoint?
Well, you guys certainly know a football player that I was around in Pittsburgh, Hines Ward, that wasn't a guy that necessarily ran real fast or had a lot of those intangible numbers, but he's a damn good football player. So I think that sometimes you have to look at what they do on the field. That's important. You know, a lot of these guys that maybe don't test as well at the Combine, you got to look at how they play on tape. But you know, there's always going to be the guy that has the fast 40 or that's really impressive physically that you're going to take a chance on. The question becomes, where do you take a chance on them? You know, it's certainly much more difficult to take a chance on them with a high pick, but you know, you get in the later rounds and you have a guy that physically was very impressive. That's when you feel like you can take a chance on that guy and you can develop it. And that's what it takes. Sometimes you get lucky and you get a young player that's physically very gifted that maybe hasn't played well that you can develop or that's a good fit for your system, and that's how you successful in drafting.
Of all the things that guys go through this week, how important is the interview process? Is that maybe something that doesn't get talked about a lot?
Well, it's an important part of it. You know, this whole process, this evaluation process is a bunch of different components, and that's one part of it. You can't ignore what they do physically. You know, there's obviously a lot of film study that goes into evaluating those players. You can't ignore what they do on the field here, because a lot of these guys are training every day to get prepared just to do these things, and if they're not successful or if they are successful, that's an evaluation process. But you also have to take the time and evaluate them with the interviews, because you want to see how they fit with your team and what their personality makeup is and if they're a good fit for you. So, you know, I think that it's because you have all these tools and evaluating these players that gives you a better chance of drafting the right player for you or being successful with the draft.
Are you amazed at how much the coverage of the Combine has grown and since your days of coming into the league?
Well, you know, I think it's not just necessarily the Combine, but it seems like everything that we do. I think that the fan interest for our sport is fantastic. I think it's at an all-time high, and it continues to seem to grow in popularity every year. So I'm not surprised. I mean, on one level I'm surprised because, you know, we're at the Combine and that people would be so interested in that. But in the other thing, you know, people are interested in what's going on, and our fans are the reason that I have a job, that these players have a job, and I'm excited that you see people so interested in it.
Appreciate it, Coach.
You got it.